Sure. Hi, John. How is the second day? I think you're the one who shared in like your experience. Yes. Yes. And I have to say that is something that we do, like what you share on the in the group chat. I think that is a lot of our experiences as well, that we actually, how to say, kind of put the Akasha records on like a pedestal, and then we kind of like thinking that they are God and they're here to guide us in a way, and that kind of get into our own way. I can see that, like personally I experienced that as well. And also yes, but yeah, I'm just replying to your to your experience that you share on the group chat. So yeah, a lot of people, like, they think that they learn something and immediately they get instant gratification, or that like instantly they will have something or someone, like, coming here to save them. And that is how we actually disempower ourselves a lot, that we are looking at someone or something outside of ourselves to save us. So have you tried the try today's session, the exercise, to write things down and then tear them apart. I wonder if anyone else is joining. I think an official release is really, really going to help us to how to say, to discard all those ideas we have of Akashic records moving forward, as well as if it's not for Akashic records, if it's for other practice, other maybe teachers, even teachers and leaders that we look up to, as well as I would say modalities, healing modalities that we actually partake in, that we think that they can save us, or they can help us to realize a certain thing that they can make us more powerful. Those things that we can actually write them all down, and the thoughts that we have towards them, and actually to tear them or to shed them or really to burn them, so to release those energy, because essentially we are the one who is more powerful and able to save ourselves. So I want more people to get into this. Like, this is a good mindset to have moving forward, and as how to say, it's like a good mindset for everyone to have, especially to put more power back into us and know that we are actually powerful. Like, so far that we all have been disempowering ourselves, that we have been putting our responsibility to other person, so that we think that they are able to save us, they are able to help us, they are able to guide us. But we forget that we have inner guidance. So combine yesterday's like day one and then the day two is like to recognize that we actually have the power to save ourselves, instead of relying on outer source, instead of thinking someone else can help us. Yes. I love how their Akasha records, they are very consistent. They're always like saying the same thing. Like, only you can save yourself. It's like, even the Akasha records, they can't save us. They can only provide us with a different perspective, and it's up to us where we want to take it. So I think that is a very, very telling, like, even they'll be like admitting that they can't save us. They'll be like, you are the one who is going to save yourself. Yes, I love that. Definitely. And also understand that tools are just tools. The tools can be as powerful as the person using it. And some tools, yes, they are, I'll say, they're intelligent and they won't be able to mean harm. Like Reiki, they won't be able to mean harm because they are intelligent. They are energy from the source, and hence they are here to only help someone with their high, like aligned to their highest and greatest good. Okay. But at the same time, is that they are just still tools, and we are the person who use it, and it can only be as powerful as we are using it. Same as tarot, same as any card reading, same as any healing modalities, anything. It also occurs to me that there are a lot of people who is like looking for outside to empower themselves. It's like, oh, I learned this skill, so I am more powerful. But the thing is that oh, okay, let me get back to my topic first. Okay, yes, a lot of people I notice on Twitter, on spiritual community overall, that they say that um they learn a new skill and hence they are more powerful. But the thing is that we are already that powerful without the new skill. The new skill is just a new way for us to express our powerfulness. The new tools, new ways, new skill is not there to define how powerful we are. We are able to define how powerful we are. Does that make sense? And LL, okay, lottery. There is this one very good example that I actually listen, and I listened from Jason. I heard from Jason. Yeah. So it's like lottery. Okay. It is amazing as it is, but if one is on getting that wealth, like how to say, one is getting more money, more wealthy with winning lottery, okay, that wealth is actually built on where it's not stable. And hence why Akasha Records, they will never encourage that, because stability is the most important thing in any spiritual work, at any part of the life. Stability is the most important. If you're not stable, you are not able to sustain that amount. If you're not stable, one of the good way that Jason has brought up is that a lot of people, they hope for other people to bring them enlightenment and new skill and so on. So they always go and get achievement. Okay, so achievement. Okay, this is also a mix of what I notice is that people always love to get achievement, so that they think that once we get achievement, we will be amazing at that particular skill, that we will get all the knowledge and so on. But the thing is that achievement is actually just an initiation of the energy. You still have to put in the work and the time to stabilize yourself in that. If you're not stable in the new energy, it's all going to collapse. And you can only stable by going through it, by experiencing it and putting time into it to work on it. So there is no outer force that can help you to be, to be powerful or to be a certain way. No outside force that can make you a master of certain things. You have to master them yourself by putting in your time and energies and effort towards it. So I think that is a very profound moment when I listened to Jason talking about that, and doing some thinking, also digesting it, and then I apply it to what I have seen and what I am doing for myself as well. Is that, yeah, there is a lot of people who relying on outer force to tell them where they are, and to make them, bring them somewhere that they are not. But at the same time, it's only you who can get to where you are. If people are going to bring you from point A to point B and you're not able to stabilize, you're only going to fall back to point A. So stability is actually very important, and that is something that is important, not just with Akasha Records, but other skills as well. If you're not willing to put in the energy and time to practice on it, then there's nothing anyone can do to help you to stabilize yourself in that, in the state. We have to put in the work. I know it's hard for a lot of people to hear this, but we have to put in the work. I'm like, do I have anyone else to join us today? I should one day make the live, how to say, public. But at the moment, because all of you who sign up, so I want to give all of you who sign up who have a priority to join this first. But eventually I would like more people to come in and play. But yes, John, do you have any questions? in-person healing is actually very powerful, and I personally love that. But because I am staying in like Malaysia, Japan, so it is hard for me to offer in-person healing. I have to say Malaysia, Japan, people are still very cautious when you talk about Reiki. They will be thinking it's something either a scam or that they're thinking that you are using some sort of evil force energy to help them. And they'll be like, no, because Reiki, the first word, the Rei, right, is actually related to it's actually spirit. And also some people might mistake it as a spirit as in like evil spirit, because you Rei is evil spirit is like also using the same word Rei. So so yeah, people over here that don't really like or they're not open to Reiki or any other healing modalities, they're most likely going to think that it's a scam, especially in Malaysia. So distance is only I can do. Like, yeah, I have to convince my mom so many times, until recently that she just opened up to do meditation. But yeah, like if I'm not the one who practicing Reiki, she would never allow me to do that also. I still do them as a reminder or refresher. How to say, I will have to say sometimes release it takes over time. Okay, like right after you burn something or you tear away something after you write them down, it might not sometimes not all the energies might leave you, especially if you're still in some way, shape, or form resonate with them. Then it will still stay within you. And yeah, you might need to do it a few more times, and it's okay to take your time. Like healing take times, release take times. Sometimes for some people it takes about 3 days, for some people it takes about 3 weeks, some takes about 3 months. It's still okay. There's no rush to anything. Rushing is, rushing is one of the big, to me, what I have learned, rushing is a big no when it comes to energy work. It takes time. So take time to stabilize yourself in the new frequency. Like you want to release um all those that you have relate yourself, like you're seeing other as more powerful than you, you're seeing the Akasha because it's more powerful than you, all this, right? It takes time for us to release those mindset and thoughts. So take your time. There's no rush in this. I've learned the hard way, as I mentioned yesterday, I've learned the hard way about rushing. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not done yet. It's okay. I'm going to give myself time and space to slowly work through it. Just here checking. Is there anyone else who will join us? And yes, I think I have also mentioned this in the video, is that the Akasha records, to me right now, that they are my best friend. That they are someone that I'm not looking up to them, but I'm looking to them for some sort of different perspective, for them to show me, they can actually be that reflection of me and my true light as well. And they are actually able to, like I mentioned, show me this different perspective. So I actually love to work with them this way and see them as my friend. You have no idea how many times I'm joking with my Akasha at first, and they are tripping me as well. And I'll be like, shut up, you idiot, to them, like literally to them. And doing all the sarcasm, back and forth is fun. Okay. So Akashic session doesn't have to be serious. A lot of people think that Akashic records keeper are very serious, and they will be always like saying the serious thing. They will give you the serious answer. They'll give you the answer with big words. sometimes they will say some really funny thing and you were just like rolling on the floor, and at the same time you get the insight. That's them. I have also asked my Akasha records, like sometimes I don't know how to cook a certain thing. I love cooking for myself. So I love the experience, and I will be like, I don't have whatever ingredients that they mentioned in the video. So what can I do? And they're like providing me alternative. Like they'll be like, oh, you have that in your fridge and you can use that. I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, good reminder. Let me do that. Yeah. There's also give me tips on how to organize my space. Okay, like back then I literally just packed my whole life into 2 luggage to fly back to Malaysia. Okay, and they literally give me advice like what you can do, how you can roll your clothes to save space, or how you can fit these things inside, you know. Oh, it's just like awesome. Having you guys is the best. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to deprogram yourself right now. You know, take your time to deprogram yourself and to see them as someone like more of your friend compared to having them as your guide or someone that is being serious to you. They're not serious at all. They're actually very friendly. They Yeah, please have fun with them. Please joke with them. Like for real. I'm seeing Daisy join our room. Yeah, and also you can learn new skill with them. Like what did I learn with them when I first started? I learned language with them. I was actually connecting to Akash records without knowing. And most of the time when I'm studying and I'm a lazy student, literally I hate like opening the book and read. I hate that. So I like to like during SM and all that I chant. That's something that another psychic told me that I actually open my records during my SM and just start channeling the answer. Yeah. And I did the same with Japanese. Japanese is something that is very big for me. Like the past 5 years, I've just been learning Japanese. And the thing is that I managed to learn Japanese from zero up to level, like entry. That's called entry. That is the intermediate level. Like from zero to intermediate level. I learned it within 1 year. So I'm just like, nah, nowadays I would just like, open my records and ask them like, hey, give me some guidance on Japanese. I don't know. Hi Daisy. How are you? We're just here to hang out, chat and talk about the 5 day challenge. If you have any questions, you can, yeah, please feel free to ask here. So yeah, open records to learn anything. That will be fun. They actually have a lot of insight, and you're just like, okay, I can see what you're doing. Also a lot of time that the Akasha records actually, I would say that what they actually give to you, and it would be something that you have experienced before a lot of times, like maybe not this lifetime but in the previous lifetime, and you'll be able to channel back all those information so much easier as well. I'm good. I'm glad to see you here. Like, oh my God. Yes. Thank you for joining us today. It will be fun. We're just talking. Yeah, have you been watching the video the past 2 days? And if you have any questions, yeah, you can feel free to drop them here. I'll be answering them. I'll be randomly talking about random things, as I'm looking into my notes and anything that strike me. Please do ask them if they can teach you Japanese. I mean, they are the library of everything. So yeah. Yeah, one thing that I think I mentioned also is that would affect your decision. So a lot of times is that you have to decide and then ask them for opinions or ask them for different perspective. They can't they if you are not asking, usually they will come in and like, hey, I have different perspective for you. Maybe you want to look at that. Usually they won't do that. They are not here to affect our decision. They are here to offer a perspective if we want them. And because human free will is such a powerful thing, all of us have free will, and we have to consent for help before they can help us. Okay, so if you're silently struggling and you're not asking for help, usually they won't step in. So please be open to ask for them, like ask for their help. Just ask out loud. I ask out loud all the time. I'll be like, dude, I need help. Like usually I'll be like, I need help on things that I want. Like the latest one, I was like, you know what? Akasha Records, I need a new laptop. My laptop literally was like in shambles. It doesn't really charge and it's super slow. For some reason, it's super slow, even though it's only 2 years. But because that is a free laptop someone else gave to me. So I'm just like, I need a new one. I've been talking to them. I need a new laptop. So the funny thing that happened to me, okay, I have been saying that I need a new laptop for a month or something. And suddenly one of the morning, okay, I just woke up. I just still guided to look at laptops on one of the shopping sites. Okay. And I saw my laptop, which is MSI brand. They're having discount on this particular laptop, which is like a gamer laptop. They're having half price. Okay. I was like, oh, there's half price. Okay, I'll be looking into it. I save it in my one list. Okay, they're on promotion for like a week or so. I save it to my like list, and in that evening, okay, my laptop literally died. It doesn't charge anymore. No matter what I do, it doesn't charge. Usually it charge, and especially if I'm giving it some Reiki and so on, and then it will charge again. So that night, after that, it's like no matter how I give Reiki to it, no matter what I do to it, it doesn't charge. And I was like, okay, I see you guys. You guys have been giving me a sign and asking me to get a new laptop there. So that is half price, that you guys know that I be able to afford that. I was just like, yeah, sometimes they will give you guidance like that, You asked for that, okay? So now it's a very good deal. So you can look at that. I'm happy with my new laptop though. That now at least I can play Photoshop with it. I've been asking them for a new laptop so I can play Photoshop. I can use it for various things. So and Daisy, do you have any questions? Is everything okay for the day 1 and day 2? The exercise I think is quite simple and yeah. So yes, the records usually they don't force you decision, but they will give you suggestion too. Like my laptop. Yes, it is. It's actually pretty good. Even though this one is only like a prestige 14, which is not the best among the gaming laptop, but I think it's good enough. I'm not using it to game. I'm using it for Photoshop and designing. So I'm happy with that. So I hope that you get your own lovely laptop too, John. Like, ask them for it. I always tell them, like, I tell my students, like, ask them for it. They will deliver in some way, shape, or form. The important key is that don't limit the way that they can bless you. Don't limit the way that they can guide you. Okay, don't ask them for money, just for money to buy your laptop. Ask them for, like, I want a laptop, and however it comes to me is fine. So they actually guide me to, like, this is discounted, like, there you go. That's so funny. I always like that. It's so funny, the whole experience. Great, Daisy, I'm happy. Anything that I can add to what I have said? Any question, anything that you guys want to share as well? This is also a sharing, how to say, a sharing session, so that we can both learn from each other. Like, if you have experiences you want to share with us, let's do that. I've already released the video for day 3 as well, so feel free to take a look at them. And for day 3, I think for day 3, I don't really have any, I don't have any of the exercise, but if there is any, I need to go back and listen to that again. But yeah, don't know how to hear or listen from your keeper. Okay, Daisy, I think the first thing, you, from what I'm seeing, okay, is to really discover your own voice first, to know how you are speaking to yourself first, and also make your decision for yourself. To recognize your voice, recognizing your voice help you to recognize voices from the outside, as in your Akasha records, your higher self, and so on. So recognize your voice first. And I also feeling that you are very focusing on the hearing part. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel that you are very focusing on the hearing part. And also, like, the hearing, sometimes the information come to us in different ways. It doesn't just come to us in, like, audible words. Audible words, it could be powerful for some, because they are more attuned to a clairaudience. Like, I am attuned to clairaudience, but most of my information come in a feeling. Like, I'm feeling the Akashic energy more than I am hearing them or knowing them. So perhaps you can sit with yourself and recognizing which clear senses that is more powerful, like that is stronger within you. I know that is my day 5 exercise, but yeah, you can start doing that to really sit with yourself, to know your senses, to discover which one of your senses is more aligned to you. You could be receiving information from, visual. You can receive information from feeling them, like either skin feeling or, internally feeling. Or you can actually receiving messages, like just knowing them. These are the 4 more common ones. Also, the others are like, you could be, just smelling and tasting without the thing there. I think that is something that is that some of the important exercise you can start doing, and it will bring you very far moving forward. And it doesn't just help with the Akashic records, it can help you with it will help you with other modalities and, like, practices as well. Ooh, look, that's that. You actually can feel them. You can feel the energy. Feeling the energy, first-hand experience, is that it's harder to put them into words. So at times that when we are feeling, we are primarily more clairsentience. with feeling the energy like come in the form of message, it will be harder for us to form it into coherent, or like sometimes like incoherent, the what it come to us, or sometimes it's like it's hard to form like very, how to say, those very nice and big sentences. I feel it's hard to do that. So don't shame yourself if you are feeling that you can't. Okay, am I frozen? Okay, no. Yeah, don't shame yourself if you feel like you can't like form very coherent and graceful sentences from the Akasha records. Sometimes message come to me in a feeling and I just like, ouch. And then I write down which part is it that hurt. And I sit with that part. I'm like, hey, can you tell me more about that? Your body is trying to tell you something when it hurts. So I'll be like, if it's like you say that your left elbow hurts, so sit with your left elbow and just like, what are you trying to tell me? What is it that I need to know right now? And just sit with the energy. I think that will help you to get in tune more, and more you get in tune with your body, the more you'll be able to form coherent words and sentence from just the feeling itself. You could be very strong clairsentience, and that is why you don't hear the record so well. I have the same kind of struggle when I first started. I just feel energy, and I'm just like, I don't know how to translate that into words. That's awesome. That's a good start. And now is for you to sit with the feeling and ask the feeling, what does it mean to you? Because every one of us, our body, they're trying to tell us in different ways. And it's up to us to recognize that voice. I hope this helped. I think the day 5 video would be very helpful for you too. But yeah, build to it one day by day, okay, and don't rush towards it. Now it's time for you to recognize your own voice first, so to really listen to your body first and hear what it's trying to say first. And then moving forward, you disempower, like, how to say, the pedestal, the Akasha records, and empower yourself. And then you will be more confident to say out loud and admit to yourself what you feel and that message that is bringing. I'm glad that it helps. Yeah, it's a personal experience myself. Everyone to know that I started the Akasha records following some other practitioners as well. Namely is Linda Howe and also Debbie Solaris. I always think that they are so cool, and I'll be like, how, like, they are listening and they're hearing all this different information and they're able to put it in such an eloquent way, as well as Denise as well. Like, they put it in such an eloquent way, and subconsciously I feel like when I connect to the Akasha records, I feel like I have to be that way as well when I first started. And then I realized that especially with a lot of different chat, with the Akasha records, I realized that my way of channel is different than them. And even like you look at Denise and Debbie Solaris and also Linda, how they all channel differently. And you can also have your own way of channeling. Their way is not wrong, okay? And your ways is not wrong either. So follow your own ways. And how do we find our own ways? Is that we have to know our voice and how our body is communicating with us first. Like me, after my discussion with the Akasha records, I realized that I would never be able to channel like how Denise do. Denise is like, she go on to the back seat and let the Akasha records be here and talk to you. I can never do that because part of me is afraid of losing control of my own body. That's one of my biggest fear. That is why I am also freaking afraid of zombies, because I be like, then my body is not fine anymore and it will go on and attack other people. So yeah. So after talking to the records, especially that one day that they're saying that you can actually have another way of, bringing our messages out, is that looking at Denise, that she allowed the records to channel through her 100%. So she's integrating with the records 100%, kind of like, or at least like 80% and above. She actually integrate over there. Okay. But for me, because I'm afraid, so that it will be easier for me to integrate with the records on a lower percentage, maybe 50%, maybe 40%, just like integrate, but not fully integrate, not like how Denise do, not like how Iga's Casey do, that we can actually choose our comfortable way of communicating and integrating with the records. So take your time, take your time to figure that out. I actually won't know how to do that until the records like tell me, how this works, and I was just like mind blown for a moment. And it also helped me a lot with watching one of the show that I like to watch is a Kamen Rider, especially the Kamen Rider W. Okay, Kamen Rider W is actually talking about a lot of they're actually using the Akasha records as one of the theme, that one of the character actually able to access the records and get information. So if you feel called to watch it, I think that will be a very good one. There's a Kamen Rider W. It is in Japanese, and there is a lot of English sub to it, so you can feel free to watch it. It's a kids show, so you will see them turning to heroes and then they start fighting monsters. But I find that that's very interesting, especially the part where they're using Akasha records into it. And I see Laurentia. Hi. Yes, yes. Clairsensors, a lot of people thinking that they will hear physical voices and so on, but it's actually hearing them in your head, in your mind. And also same with feelings. You can feel it in your, like, it's not like physical feeling, it's like in the mind. So it's very hard for us to believe in it sometimes, unless we really really is confident that we are doing it. Okay, and I hope the insight just now able to help some of you to stop struggling to be like how to say, stop struggling to channel like some of us, and start channeling like you. Take your time, Lauren. Take your time. Like there's no rush. Okay, so take your time to practice, to play, and even though you say it's 5-day challenge, you can actually expand it and redo it anytime you want. Okay. Kamen Rider is a fun show. I love watching them. But that is mostly also because I am a kid in my, like I'm a child in my mind. I'm just like, oh, there is like hero fighting, and I'm like, also there is a lot of handsome guys it's like there. I'm just like, oh, they're so cute, so handsome. I love your record keeper. They are like, I think they are very straightforward. I like that. I want to actually hear things. No, you don't. Actually, yeah, no, you don't. Like if you actually get to telepathy, like to hear other minds and something like that, I would say no, I don't. I too, like, no. I love Kamen Rider. Mostly I'm just watching Kamen Rider I don't watch the other, which is the, how's it? The Ranger. Like, I used to love Power Ranger, but once I discovered Kamen Rider, I find that they are cooler. So I like them more, and I discard Power Ranger. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I hope that it helps Daisy and John. I hope that this helped you to find your own voice better. Like, you can choose your way of integration, like for real. You can choose your way of channeling as well. And yeah, later I can link everyone to the Kamen Rider. I think the W, I think I have a link. Like, you ask me for a Japanese show, I probably tell you that I have a link. So anyone have any other questions for me? You know, anything you want to bring up to discuss? I'm also thinking maybe you know, day 4 or day 5, we can actually have a Zoom call, and then we can just chat. Like, you guys can just unmute yourself and chat with me instead of being on the chat on the YouTube. Would that be better? Okay, clairvoyance and clairsentience can perceive some different things that normal. Yes, yes. So look at it this way, okay? Sometimes we see something, we are able to only see on the surface, okay? But the surface doesn't mean it is the whole picture. So that the clairsentience can bring in another perspective to you, but it can be a different thing than what you have perceived when you are seeing it. So I think both are actually both are actually your senses trying to tell you something, and it'll be great for you to integrate them both, like, use them both instead of focusing on one compared to another. Yes. And pick a card. If you play pick a card, right, it's okay to pick more than one pile. There's nothing wrong. And when you pick more than one pile, it's up to you to define whether both message, the whole of both message is resonate with you, or you are just picking some part of the messages from here and then the other parts of the messages there. But that a lot to do with discernment. So you have to really exercise that to see which one is resonating for you. Mm. Oh, it's 12 here. I think there's an 1 minute delay for me and the chat and the YouTube itself. There's about 1 minute delay. But it's chow here. Let me know if anyone have any other thing that you guys want to discuss, you guys want to share. Again, Daisy, is everything okay? Like my explanation and the example that I'm giving is everything okay with, like, yeah, if anything else I can add to help you, let me know. Moving forward, I think it's very, very important to um for us to actually practice discernment and to pick messages that is like, even if like messages, we have to pick different one that is like more resonating with us. We have to ask ourselves, like, whether this is resonating, whether it's not. I think moving forward, that is very, very important. And yes, if you are still struggling with connecting with your Akashic records, it's okay. Take your time. There's no rush. There is no rush. Like I mentioned yesterday on yesterday's live, is that Rushing does not work, especially in Akasha Records. I tried to rush and they put me to 5 months break. They'll be like, no, you don't access the Akasha Records for this time. Go on and do something else. I was there, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I'm not able to practice Akasha Records. Yeah, I was being dramatic, but yeah. So I'll be here, like if you have questions, I'll be like answering them. If not, then I will let everyone go back to their evening, to their day, and have a good rest, and we'll be playing tomorrow again, coming on live and chat again if you have any further questions. Yes. Or Lauren, yeah, there's a lot of programming for you. Like I feel that for myself, there's a lot of programming in my space as well. And it is very important, and that like it's very important for us to realize that we are powerful enough to deprogram ourselves. Like we are able to. Okay. And all it takes is for us to really just start listening to our voice and what do we need. Like sit with yourself, okay, and you are capable of deprogramming yourself even without help. It takes time, okay, like everything else, it takes time, because time helps us to stabilize ourselves in the new state. And there's no healer or teacher or any way shower that can bring you to a new state and stabilize you for you. Only you can do that yourself. So yeah, I think that is very important. Like that's something that I'm still learning as well. Like no one from the outside can make me into something if I decide that I don't want to be. And yeah, I'll just leave everyone that, and for today, like and I hope that you guys take some time to sit with that, sit with all the knowledge. And yeah, I think I will be ending the live today in that sense. Unless anyone have any further questions, anything you guys want to share? Yes. And I have to say, it is, how to say, like the connection to the divine and the records is our birthright, every single one of us. And it, regardless of who you are, what you have been, or whether you are a good person or bad person or anything, or even if you are practicing spiritual work or not, it doesn't matter. We all have the birthright and connection to the records. Okay, so if you have programming like thinking that you're not worthy and so on, it's a good time for you to write them all down. Okay, again, the same exercise, write them all down, like you're not worthy of this connection, you are not worthy to receiving information from the records or something like that. Write them all down. You can burn them, you can tear them apart and discard them. It's your birthright to connect to the Akasha records. Like the Akasha records doesn't discriminate whether it's the good person or bad person, whether they are whatever that they are doing. If you are street shippers, okay, you're shipping the street for your living, you are doing energy work, you are the government, okay, it doesn't matter. To them, it's just that you still would have the connection with them. And whether you use the connection with them or not, it's up to you. They can't define it for you. Okay? So yeah, I hope to leave that with everyone here. It's your birthright to connect with the records with whatever modalities you choose to play with. It's your birthright. So don't put yourself down. You are definitely worthy of that. Okay? Hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? If there's any further questions, you can feel free to drop them in the group chat and I'll be there. Okay.